What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Jenks Summer Podcast. Today, we're going to be breaking down a top 8 offensive tackles in this year's NFL Draft. You guys are going to be watching this on Tuesday, so it is Combine Week from Thursday to Sunday. All the position groups are going to be testing. Exciting stuff. A lot of news comes out at the Combine. All the GMs get together, coaches. It's going to be interesting. I'm excited to see what a lot of these prospects are going to do, their times, how they're going to look in the field. This is the first time we're getting to really see that. Excited. And of course, next episode on Tuesday, we'll be breaking that all down for you guys, along with, I believe, pass rushers, defensive ends, outside backers is next week. But today we got tackles, the big uglies. And keep in mind, again, we did the big boys first because, we know the combine is coming up. So, do the skill guys after, where the combine kind of matters more than these big boys. So we kept that in mind, but we got a good one for you guys today. Let's get right into it.
Welcome to the Jenks and the Hammer podcast, bringing you the latest NFL news and insights from the perspectives of two die-hard fans. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some football talk with Jenks and the Hammer.
Here we go! All right, getting right into our honorable mentions for the offensive tackles. So there were a couple guys that we kind of left off this list, and the two are going to be Kingsley Sumatia from BYU. He's a freak athlete. That's the one note that everyone has of the guy. He's actually a huge guy. He's 329, but in his 329 pounds, 6'4". But his freshman year, he hit 21.5 miles an hour at 318 pounds just a year ago, his freshman year. So the guy's a freak athlete. He has great burst and speed, but he has inconsistent pad level, and he just needs to polish a few things for him to be considered one of these top 8 guys. And right now, I think he's going to be a round 2 or 3 guy at the moment. So he's not one of these top 8. Next, the second honorable mention is going to be Patrick Paul, a guy that a lot of people are considering within the top 8, but he's 6'7", 333 pounds. And the thing is with him, he has great size, everything like that. But sometimes that great size is a burden with him, and he isn't fast enough to block faster, quicker guys off the edge. And in the NFL, we all know, that's what's the modern day NFL is. It's the edges that are super quick off the edge, just speed right by you. And a bigger guy like him that isn't quick on his feet yet, that's going to haunt him in the NFL until he gets it fixed. So that's why I don't have him in the top 8.
Yeah, he said top eight, lineman, not top 8 in the draft. I just want to clarify that because you said that kind of quick.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Making sure you guys
know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah,
anyways, number 8, look at this new picture we got. This nice little font.
Whose idea?
Yeah, I know, but I make it look pretty, him, and that's what matters. Anyways, number 8, we got Troy Fautanu out of Washington, a guy who a lot of people have around 7, maybe 6 on their draft boards, but I think with him, he's going to be moved to guard in the NFL. It's a big possibility. That's why we have this guy and the next guy as well, a little bit lower on our draft boards. But this guy allowed 2 QB hits, 2 sacks his past season. He's 23 years old. He's very athletic off the line. You see when you watch him on film, he bursts off the line immediately and goes and finds his guy. He moves like a pickup truck and has the build of a box truck. That's one note I took. So that's something you look for in a guy like this. His good drive once engaged with the blocker, and he has the mentality, you see it when he's blocking someone, when he's not blocking someone, he's pass blocking and no one comes to him, and he sees a guy next to him coming at his buddy over here on the right at his guard. He knocks the guy out. He just kills the guy next to him. So I love that mentality of him. The bad, though, I think although he's athletic and aggressive in his mindset and everything like that, while run blocking, he seems to not really get his feet under him, and it sometimes comes and bites him in the butt. When pass dropping as well, I notice his feet get a little bit sloppy. So again, something in the NFL, the feet and pass pro are very, very big thing to get nailed down. So that's why I just have him a couple notches down, number 8, as well as him possibly being moved to guard in the NFL.
All right, number 7, we got Jordan Morgan. This guy, I've seen him mocked a lot to the Packers, late in the first round, early day 2, and I kind of feel like that is his range. He's very versatile, which makes him a really attractive prospect. Could play tackle guard, athleticism, really good, off the charts, really good change of direction and recovery. He gets better every single year. Every single year at college, he just became a better player, kind of perfecting his craft. He's got great pad level, and a kind of a downside of him, which kind of makes him versatile, and it is his short arms. He's kind of more of I think a lot of teams see him as a guard, but can play tackle, even though he played tackle in college. So, he's versatile in that sense. Um, Medical history is kind of a bad thing. He tore his ACL in 2022, and then I think he can improve again. I think he could improve with his techniques. Sometimes he fits kind of wrong, and I think he takes too many false steps too. I think he takes too many extra steps that are just unnecessary that he doesn't need to take. That kind of slows him down. But yeah, we got him at number 7.
Yeah, and one thing you talked about there is the hands, and I think throughout this and arm length, sorry, and as we go through that list, like these guys, 7, 8, as well as false steps, 7, 8, like the arm length and mixed with those fundamentals and footwork and things like that, getting kind of mixed up. That's why these top like 4 guys, I want to say, are the guys that are like the solid guys you could plug and play at tackle. Other guys, they're good at tackle in college, but you don't know if they're going to be great at tackle in the NFL. So I think that's a very important thing to know as well.
Yeah, tackles that position that everyone translates kind of differently. Like that's a really tough position to play in the NFL when you got you know TJ Watt and Nick Bosa outside. It's just you got speed, you got power. It's just way different than a college game. That's why it's way more easier for a guard to come over to the NFL than a tackle. A lot of tackles, if you don't have that athleticism and if the feet aren't good and you don't have that arm length, there's a good chance you're going to get moved to guard. And Jordan Morgan is a good example of that.
Yeah, and I think it's something important to know. So I'm glad you brought that up. Next, at number 6, we got my guy from Oklahoma. For those who don't know, I'm an OKC. I'm an Oklahoma City Thunder fan and Oklahoma Sooner fan. So Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma, he's 6'7", 328. He had 0 sacks allowed this past season and only 3 QB hits, which isn't insane. I think the biggest things that are important with him are his size and athleticism. 6'7", 328 is peak. That's like that prime NFL tackle range. And he's ridiculously athletic. He has great size, his height, and he's able to use his feet and his speed to his advantage. He's quick for his size, which is something that's very important to know. Like you see it in the Senior Bowl. You watch his film. He's very quick. The guys are speed rushing, and he's able to get his feet under him, get there, and then if they try to come back, he switches his hands and gets right back into it. So I think that's one thing really important with him is great leverage, his aggressiveness when he's run blocking, things like that. And he's able to get to his assignment and make the play. That being said, when he's going to the second level, sometimes you'll see him be slightly late off the ball, and the running back will beat him to his assignment. So the running back will get past, and he won't be able to get the block off. Which in the NFL, if you're not quick enough, that's going to hurt you. So I'm having him a little bit lower on this list at 6, as well as his height. His height being 6'7", it's tougher for guys that are that size, that are younger in college and everything like that, to focus on their pad level. That's something that we've harped on as well for these kind of guys is staying balanced, staying low, so that you don't get pushed over by these bull rushers in the NFL. So I think that's something he needs to improve. And I think his experience is something that's a note as well. He transferred from TCU to Oklahoma this past season. He wasn't a starter for all of his career in college. So that's something to note before all these scouts in the NFL as well. So I love his Senior Bowl film, and I think he's going to end up being a pick from the late first round to middle of the second round. I think that's where he goes.
Yeah, I think these next 2 guys at 6 and 5, I think we can alternate them. I don't know. I kind of like this guy from Oklahoma better than my guy next. But at number 5, we got
wrong way. My bad. Where's he at? No? Hey, just keep going. I'm adding him in.
Amarius Mims from Georgia. He's standing at 6'7", 340 pounds. Big dude. The problem with him, though, and I don't have a lot of notes on him, is he didn't play a lot of football. He didn't get a lot of starts. He doesn't have a lot of experience. He played 2-3 games his freshman year. Coming into his sophomore year this year, he played a little bit, and then he got an ankle injury pretty early, and that kind of stopped him from playing the rest of the year. The good is, of course, the frame. The footwork's pretty good. He's got lateral quickness, athleticism. He's a good athlete, good wingspan, and he's definitely better pass protection than he is a run blocker. His concerns, right, durability. Banged up this past year. And like I said, experience, that just doesn't help. He doesn't have a lot of experience playing college football, and now he's going to make this big jump to the NFL. That could be tough. And along with that, I think he's got to focus on his technique. He's really got to build up his foundations. But, however, I think this guy, because of his athleticism, size, coming from Georgia, I think he could be a day one pick. If he has a good combine, good pro day, I think he could be a day two pick. If not, it's definitely an early second round pick.
Yeah, I like it. And you see the guy in this picture here, for those who are watching, the guy's huge. The guy's a monster. And I think the most important thing all coaches throughout football will say, we played since we were youngins. We were yay high. Now we're through and retired from football. We hung up the cleats, but coaches will always say the best ability is availability. So for a guy like this to come in getting hurt a lot, that's something to concern NFL scouts. But I still think his talent and everything you said before are something that'll get him high up on the draft boards.
Number 4, we got J.C. Latham from Alabama, 6'6", 360 pounds. This dude's a monster in the run game. Like, he's a mauler. I think the thing that jumps out is his size, 6'6", 360 pounds. He is a big, big boy. I mean, he looks like a D tackle, and he's playing tackle. Pretty crazy for the offensive side. And the thing that stands out too is his quickness. He's got pretty quick feet for a guy this size. Good hand power, good awareness, could pick up stunts, twist, and then of course the strength. Right? I mean, you could see by the size, but I think he's the strongest tackle in this class. He can get beat by finesse rushers. By the speed rushers, and those guys can sometimes, leave him off balance because of his size. So, I think I've heard a lot of people say that his size is okay and good, and he can play tackle at the next level. With the size he has right now, that's going to be interesting to see. We'll see how that works. I'm interested to see what he weighs in at the combine, see if he drops weight. Who knows? And then some other bad things. I think he'd be grabby at times. He had a lot of penalties in college, and all around though, I think he's a really good player. I think he's going to get drafted in the middle of the first round. I think the Saints are a good fit. I've seen him mocked to the Saints a lot, so yeah, I like him a lot. Monster in the run game. He's definitely going to play tackle. I'm really interested to see what he weighs at the combine, and yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's, like you said, these top 4 guys, these are kind of the guys that 100% are playing tackle in the NFL. Like, these are the guys that you go into every draft class. There's always those top tackle guys that are from picks 1 through 20 that are always going to be the high tackles in the draft class. So glad you noted that. And I think the Saints, J.C. Latham's there. If the next 3 aren't there, obviously, I think they have a good shot at taking them. So I like that you brought up the Saints as well.
Yeah, and like Jenk said, all these guys are top tier, and I mean, this is a really good tackle class. I think there's a really good chance that we're seeing 5, 6, 7 tackles go in the first round. I'm not surprised at all. So
it's kind of like the edge class from last year. Like, there was a ridiculous amount of edges coming into last year. Obviously, not as many have panned out as we expected going through last season, but this is kind of like that similar thing where there's just a ridiculous amount of great talent.
Yeah.
Next, at number 3, you got Taliese Fuaga from Oregon State, a guy, as well as Hammer just said for J.C. Latham, a guy that the Saints are getting mocked a lot. Like, this is a guy that is prime pick for 14 for the Saints. He's 6'5", 332, allowed 0 sacks this past season. He's only 21 years old. So he's great speed off the line, very quick feet. Whenever he's engaged with a blocker, he keeps his feet moving. That's something I love. You see a lot of blockers, they get engaged, either it's a bull rush or second level, they're run blocking. They'll stop their feet. I love that about Taliese. He keeps his feet moving. So if a guy on the pass pro, say, he's getting pushed back and he switches back inside, he's able to keep his feet moving, readjust, and attack him. And I love that about him. I love his tenacity as run blocker. He goes and gets the guy, and he's angry and happy to do it. You see him here. He's celebrating in the end zone, probably just bull rush someone. Or not bull rush, but pancake someone. And I love that about him. And his great foundation and his great size as a pass protector. The bad, I talked about his feet and his speed, and sometimes these can be a burden for him. The guy can sometimes over pursue or over commit, and he'll whiff on a block, or he'll lose his balance on a block. And that's something that, I feel like we could say a lot for a lot of these guys. But for Taliese, I think it's something that is such a minor thing. It's very minor that he does it. It's not a common occurrence with him. But if the NFL group that he goes to, the NFL team, has a good offensive lineman coach, a good group around him, I think they can fix that really easily, and this guy can get going right away. So the biggest note I had for the guy is that he could easily be offensive tackle 1 in a different draft class. Say this is a couple of years ago or a year ago, whatever, or a couple of drafts in the future, where there's lower offensive tackles, it's a less stacked class. This guy could easily be considered an offensive tackle 1 in a different draft class. And so I think he's going to be a high pick, top 15. I believe that's where he goes. And my comparison is Tristan Wirfs. He's a similar play style to the guy. And as a Saints fan, I get to see Tristan Wirfs play 2 times a year. And if this guy comes to the Saints, I'd be ecstatic. Nothing short of ecstatic.
So number 2, this might surprise some people, but we got Joe Alt. Now, he's looked at as kind of the clear number 1 tackle. Me and Jenks through scouting kind of determined he's our number 2. Joe Alt from Notre Dame, standing at 6'8", 315 pounds. This guy's athletic. He played quarterback, tight end, basketball in high school. He was recruited to play tight end at Notre Dame, and that's tell you something about his athleticism. He can run like a tight end, and he's 6'8", but he's 315. That's like, I don't know, little skinny compared to some of these other guys at that size. Of course, right? The athleticism, the size, the footwork's really good. Awareness is awesome. Picks up a lot of stuff. Pass blocking is just definitely a strong suit. Better pass blocker than he is a run blocker. Wins at the point of attack a lot. Can improve as a run blocker. He doesn't really have that mauling mentality, which I don't really like, because I feel like if you're going to be considered that top guy, you just got to be a complete animal and everything. Kind of like another Notre Dame offensive lineman was, Quentin Nelson. He's a mauler. He's just going to run his feet, put you into the ground, and let you hear about it after. Other things that he can improve upon is sometimes in pass protection, he lunges at times, and run blocking as well. His anchor, he gets moved off a spot a lot. I think that's due to him being 315. So I'm kind of interested to see if he puts on weight. I think he's got to be a little stronger. And another thing too, I just want to note, he's going to be 21 during his rookie season. So that just should tell you how young he kind of is compared to some of these other offensive line prospects. I would compare him to. I have 2 different comparisons for him. I think his athletic ability is like Lane Johnson, but he doesn't have that same, mentality like a Lane Johnson. His build is like a Nate Solder. If you remember, he was the tackle for the Patriots. He signed a big contract with the Giants later in his career. Didn't work out, but he's got that same build, like 6'7", 6'8", only 310, 320, like a little on the light side. He's going to be an early, first round pick, top 10 pick, top 8 pick. I think I've seen him really kind of mocked to the Chargers at 5 and the Giants at 6. So I think that's kind of 2 teams to keep an eye out for him. That's kind of his range. He's definitely going to be a top 10 pick. And yeah, he's really athletic. That's what you want from an offensive lineman. I don't feel like he has that mentality. It just didn't really show up on film for me. So I'm interested to see what he does. I don't know. I kind of feel like it's like tough to say. I feel like he could maybe be a bust, but we'll see.
Hammer with the accusations.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. He's really athletic, but man, this is a different type of league. So we'll see how he translates. If he goes to a team like the Giants, though, he's probably going to be a bust. If he goes to the Chargers or another team, he'll end up doing pretty good. But,
well coached, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. He's interesting though. I'm a fan. I'm a little iffy. I think he's got to go to the right place. He's got to go to the right place.
I respect it. Yeah, no, and even if like the Patriots say screw it, or if they make a trade or something like that, and they get a quarterback elsewhere, and they go Joe Alt, like that's a good spot for him because they have a good O-line. Like they have the foundation for him to be good in that system over there in New England. So yeah, like you said, it's the right place that matters for a guy like Joe Alt. At number 1, I know there's gonna be people out there outraged. So why is Joe Alt not number 1? We get it. But everyone scouts their own things. Everyone has their own opinions. We have Olu Fashanu at number 1. And the reason is this guy allowed one QB hit, zero pressures, or zero sacks, I mean, and he's 21 years old at this moment in time. I think he'll be 22 once the season starts. But like Hammer said, he's basically the same type of guy as Joe Alt. Very good at pass pro. A little bit he needs to be fixed in the run game. But I think he has that anger that Joe Alt doesn't have. I think he's able to kind of switch it on for a game, and he's going to come out and kill someone on the field. So he has a great base, seems to be able to anchor himself on bull rushes. That's something I loved watching on tape, is when a guy bull rushed him, he didn't get moved. Maybe he got pushed back a step, but as soon as he got his feet under him, he stopped the guy in his tracks. He's able to secure the blind side on almost all pass pro reps. I love his footwork. He's able to just constantly move his feet and get his feet under him. He's got very polished footwork, and I think that's a really big plus when it comes to the NFL, because if it's more of like hands and things like that, that's something that the NFL can fix pretty quickly. When he's able to actually get his hands inside in the second level, he's a really good run blocker. You see him, he gets outside on his hands. That's the bad that I'm bringing up with him. It's really his hands. It's fine. He just needs to fine tune that run blocking a little bit. Fine tune his point of attack and his hands in the second level. And if he's able to do those two things, I think this guy is going to be a stud in the NFL for a long time. My notes really were that this is the number one offensive tackle in the draft class, 100%. I think as the combine goes by and as this draft process moves on, I think he'll move up draft boards to number one. And I think so. I think so. I think there's a shot.
I feel like Joe Alt's like the darling. Like he's like
he could be.
He's just too. I don't know. I think he's already got that spot. Even though I think.
So you're saying it's like kind of like Caleb Williams at quarterback, where like he's just there's no one's even giving anyone else a second.
No, not even like that. I think Caleb Williams. I think Caleb Williams could like not move down, but I think talks like with other quarterbacks like Drake May could heat up, and the Bears could be looking both into him. I just think I don't know some of the off-field stuff with Williams, but that's for another video. We'll talk about that later. But
everyone look forward to that.
It seems like Joe Alt's like the big time favorite, and
I respect it. But I do think that Olu could move up draft boards. I got him as a top 10 pick at most. If he falls to 14, the Saints are picking him. Like there's no way you're letting him slip past him. He's not slipping that far.
I'll tell you, there's no way this dude's getting past 10. He's not getting past the Jets. He's not.
The guy's a dog. I love the guy. I was watching this film and I was like, holy crap, this guy was a beast. And my comparison for him was Laramie Tunsil in pass pro. I didn't say he was Laramie Tunsil in the run blocking, because Laramie Tunsil was a little bit more polished in run blocking coming out of college, in my opinion. But I think this guy has what it takes to be a guy like Laramie Tunsil in the NFL and be one of the top tackles in the league.
Totally. So that's going to do it for this episode. Top 8 offensive tackles. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please comment down below who we got right, who we got wrong. Who do you want your favorite team to draft? This is exciting. Good week to be a football fan. Combine, enjoy it. A lot of news is going to come out. We're just going to see how these guys run, how they test. We're going to be breaking it down for you guys next Tuesday. And, of course, this Thursday, we're going to have – you guys will be watching on Friday, news for this week. But, yeah, just thanks for the support. And, Jenks, closing thoughts?
Yeah, real quick, I just want to say thanks, everyone. Let me just double check what we're at right now. I mean, I really wasn't expecting, like Hammer and I were saying for last week's video for interior offensive linemen, we were hoping for 50 views. 50 views is what we were expecting, and we just hit 206. So thank you to everyone for watching on that video. And like we said, likes and comments and any interaction, commenting down below, we'll always make sure we respond to you guys, and it helps a lot for both the pushing it out further to other people, as well as just connecting with you guys every single day. So we look forward to that. So we hope this one does as well, but thanks again for all of the comments and all the support.
Yeah, this is important to us. We love this type of season, scouting guys, getting ready for the draft, which is a holiday for us. We love it. We enjoy it. It's important to us. So, just have that in mind too. Hopefully it's important to you too. We care about it. So, makes it more valuable. But with that being said, make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at JanksNetwork. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube at JanksNetwork Podcast. If you watch on YouTube, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Sorry if today was a little, energy, or maybe we were messing up too much because we are recording at 11:30 at night. Hammer's a little tired. He's got to get up early. But we appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you next episode.
Yeah, see you guys. So for those that don't know, Hammer sleeps by like 11 o'clock.
Yeah, this is it.
For me, I'm a night owl. I'm here. I'm up until 2 or 3 a.m.
Yeah, 2, 3. I know from the college days, he's up late. So
we would be sitting there. Me and Joe and I. Joe was our other roommate. We'd be sitting there. We'd try to scare John because John was always scared shitless in bed because we would always freak.
No, I was always in bed first, and they were just trying to sneak up on me and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, little kid games, whatever.
Yeah. So, anyways, thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to the Jenks and the Hammer podcast. Remember to leave a review and follow all of our social media pages at Jenks Hammer Pod for more content. Until next time, who dat and go Pack Go!